Y'all ready?
Yeah. You know, we've gotten copyright claimed on 2 videos so far, and I was like, wow, we made it.
I blame you.
Got copyright claim. Me?
Yeah, you.
On what charge?
Marvel dick riding?
Okay, well.
They flagged for that now.
Can't fight that case. Guilty as charged, nigga. Guilty as charged. Lock me up.
The defense rest.
Yeah, my lawyer's like, nigga, we got a chance. Nah. Didn't sit up me.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Put me under the jail. I am there.
My connect's gonna hold me down.
Who's my cellie? Is it Robert?
Who's my cellmate? Is it Ant-Man's daughter? Who's my
And my shit is at 99%. Let's go. Yo. Wake up. Up you wake. I am your host, L.A. aka L.A. And with me today is the one and only, the spirit gunner, the Wes Craven of rap, Cam, motherfucking Archer. Copyright claim.
I don't believe in copyright claims because I'm a real nigga. That's first and foremost. You know what I'm saying?
I'll send that to YouTube. I'll send it right.
Hear that?
Tiptoeing in my Georgia. Kinda came time. Tiptoeing in my Georgia. Just got the porch.
Shout out to Riff Raff. He just sang a hook like I need a bacon.
Funny.
I wish that white motherfucker would. I'll beat the dog shit out of Riff Raff. Knock a zigzag off his beard. Boy, you better be happy for the promotion.
Shit. Can you imagine getting that fucking affidavit?
Cousin. Yo, yeah.
Cease and desist. That's cease and desist.
No, here's the wildest part is I would be called Riff Raff too if my real name was Horst Christian Simcoe. Yeah, nigga. You should go by Riff Raff for the rest of your life. Horst. Like with a T? Horst.
Wow. It's funny you say that because I was definitely going to bring up some of the, we won't do this episode, but we're going to talk about rapper names, their real names. We touched on it a little bit when we was doing.
Well, the one that I used to talk about the most, I can't anymore.
The Migos.
Off. Yeah.
We talked.
Like a crazy name, but
we're definitely we're gonna have to deep dive into some of these rappers' names because
Quavius is still on the table. So
yeah, Quavius is still still a wild one. Also with us, the family man. The one with all the facts and the lyrics. The producer of what? The director, Devon Johnson.
It's getting deep.
How much cocaine do you think was ingested in the clubs in the 80s?
About the same as the Bear that's going to be in Cocaine Bear coming to theaters near you. That we will be talking about. Can't fucking wait.
You walked
right
into
about.
You walked right into that, bro.
It's almost as if like he drew up the play and then that's surprised.
It's crazy though because I also think about that for the 70s too. I've mentioned this before and I'll continue to mention it. I tried to ask my mom what the clubs were like when Flashlight came out.
Like they had to be crazy.
Like, could you imagine how nuts the clubs were when Flashlight came out, my nigga? And I was like, Mom, what was it like in the club when Flashlight came out? And she was like, I really don't remember. I was like, that good, huh? It was that good, wasn't it, Mom? You don't even remember, huh?
Like I was thinking of like if
parents really be lying.
What are you doing if you're in the club and 1999 hits?
A line, nigga. What you mean? What you doing? A line, nigga. What you mean? Forgive me if I go too fast.
And they're like, I don't even hear the music.
Life is just a party and parties weren't meant to last. Niggas in there losing their goddamn mind.
My girl loves you.
And you know, because all of them guys used to make the extended club cuts, so you'd have a song playing for 8 minutes, just 8 minutes. Vibe.
Super Freak. Super Freak in the club in the 80s? Are you sick? Man, let me tell you something.
Just niggas with roller skates on and leather and polyester just spinning for 8 hours.
Niggas is going dumb. What?
That's a wild time. That is a wild fucking girl. Oh man. The amount of knee-high
leather boots filled to the brim of coke, probably. Probably just reach that bitch and pull it out like pocket sand.
Those are the people running our country now. They're just degenerated and high. Running in Congress.
That's true. I remember seeing a video game special that was like, just think about the fact that in about 30 years, the president will have grown up playing Super Mario Brothers. I'm like, nah, think about the fact that in the next 10 years, the president was probably high out of his mind in 1980. Okay? Think about that. All right?
Like, and it's not even like the crazy party jumps. Like, think of like some Bee Gees, like How Deep Is Your Love? And you're just introspective, and but you're high still. You're just...
Hey, no, Bee Gees.
Because the idea of like getting offered drugs and stuff like that feels very Hollywood, but back then that was just like the normal.
It was recreational in the clubs.
Yeah,
but think about it now. If somebody like think of where you'll be, and somebody will be like,
well, now it's just more so.
I got weed, and then it's like weed. Like, hey, I got some. Do you want? And people will be like, yeah, let me
go to a rave. If a girl comes, you cooling with a girl, she might have a pill on her tongue. She might offer it to you. It's on you if you take it though. Be careful.
I remember when I watched. I think what was that Bad Boys 2? No, they was doing all the pills and ecstasy. I was like, damn, is that what nightlife is like?
That was Miami as well. So Miami's a different place.
Nigga, that's Miami right now.
Yeah, it's still going.
That ain't winning
out
nowhere.
there. Out there, Harlem shaking on the cement.
What? You said they're having a seizure?
Opposed to surf?
Yeah.
Are they having a seizure, nigga?
Yeah, drug seizure, yeah.
This nigga's a fool.
Oh, my God.
They're down there floundering, fishing. Oh, man. Welcome wrongdoers to your favorite.
Wait, excuse me.
What? Oh,
you give my man some love?
Who? Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Who? My man said who? Who else? Who else could it be?
I thought he was joking. I legit.
I've already covered all the important people. I don't know who else you're talking about. I thought he was just going to
do like the who and then go right into the introduction. And this nigga was legit befuddled. Wow. This podcast is never coming out. We're like 6 behind. We're about to be 10. It's never
just keep going. Just keep going. I don't even need the intro no more. I don't want it.
At least we not forget. She gotta make podcast.
I don't want your
no, let me give it to you.
Intro. I don't want your begrudged intro.
Let me give it to you, baby. the big body babe, the producer.
Give it to me, what to say?
Josh, I can't even do the roll. I'm trying to rush through it.
Are you funny? What are you doing? Chewbacca?
He was trying to do his R.
I couldn't.
It's always going brr.
I can't do it. My Puerto Rican ancestors
like Birdman.
It's hurting. It's hurting bad. Oh man, welcome wrongdoers to your new favorite podcast with three.
You didn't finish his name.
I did. I said Josh.
You didn't even say Tines.
You didn't even let me do this. You usually just go Josh Mar, and then how are you forgetting this? Like
I was trying to get through it.
Burr.
That's fair.
He said, "That's fair. I earned that.
I deserve that one." Yeah, no, I definitely earned that. Tines.
Latino heat.
Yeah, drop. Okay, all right. Now we're back.
Latino heat.
Oh, welcome wrongdoers with your new favorite podcast with 3 black men and a Latino. Get together each and every week to mean what we say and say what we mean. This is and always peace to Ray Raheem. This is the Do Wrong Thing podcast. I almost forgot Ray Raheem too. This is episode today. I think this is episode 66.
This is an entertainment time episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
God.
I looked up and saw the latest episode. I was like, that doesn't seem right. But yes, this is an entertainment episode. This is an entertainment time episode because we all saw a little movie You may have heard of it. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So this is going to be.
You could leave out the Wasp part, by the way.
Pretty much. You're right. Yeah, exactly.
It was Ant-Man. It wasn't even Ant-Man. It was Ant-Man's mother-in-law or whoever.
Yeah, Ant-Man and Quantumania. This is going to be a full spoiler pod.
Quantumania.
I saw that you wrote that earlier. That was a good one. This is going to be a full spoiler pod. We'll do the first 10 minutes of non-spoilers to get our thoughts out. After that, go fucking watch the movie, come back. So, Ant-Man, I'm sorry, Josh, do you want to do the entertainment time jingle? I feel like I owed you that at least.
Why are you trying to include Josh now? he wasn't here a minute ago.
I don't need your pity. I was gonna push the button without you.
Thank you. Ant-Man and presumably the Wasp.
Allegedly the Wasp.
allegedly in this movie. So each of us. Yeah, no, I deserve that. Oh shit! It's 2-drop minimum. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania came out. It was Thursday night, technically, depending on if you're broke or not. You went and saw it Thursday, Friday, later on. This is the start of Phase 5 for Marvel. It had I think one of the largest budgets. Not budgets. It had one of the largest opening weekends in Marvel thus far. Beat previous Ant-Man. It's already, I think, projected somewhere around. Yeah, I think it's somewhere projected around 174 million already, which is pretty good. Pretty good numbers. I'm gonna start with Antonio, if you can, because I know he's been fucking can't wait. Give us
this is the non-spoiler.
Non-spoiler,
right now, big dog.
Yeah,
so
non-spoiler.
Hammer don't hurt him.
Tell us what your overview thoughts of the movie, non-spoilerly.
Okay. I'll start with one thing that Big Mama taught me is that if I didn't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I'll say the nice things. I'll say this: Johnathan Majors is that guy.
True.
He's that guy. Shout out to Michelle Pfeiffer, because she was like, she carried that movie on her back. Apparently this was Ant-Man's movie, but didn't feel like it. Seemed like he was like third billing, fourth probably. It was interesting. It presumably set some things up. It had some gowns, beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns? I love that's your takeaway from the movie.
Beautiful gowns. Yeah. That's it. I don't know. I don't know how else to do this without spoiling.
Without spoiling it? Okay. Cam, what about you?
Yep.
That's it?
Nah, so I'm gonna keep it positive too, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it all loves. So shout out to the girl, the leader of the resistance, her abs. Crazy.
Solid.
Like she was in the gym. Like, and those eyes are like intoxicating. So shout out to her.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like I felt like that was I thought that was gonna be like the start of like the little Land girl's like lesbian journey, the way she was staring in her eyes. I thought like she was gonna be like, damn, maybe I need this type of power in my life because Scott's pussy. I of course Kang. I mean, first and foremost, Black History Month. Kang was shit.
Kang watch.
Man, he was great till he wasn't. And I enjoyed most of the MODOK humor. Mm-hmm. And I enjoyed Michael Douglas.
Scott.
It felt like there might have been a little bit of, seemed like some of those characters on that set, might have been a little bit, might have been needled into some things in this film, if you catch my drift there. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? It was a film. It was on a screen.
That's true.
And there was people performing lines, and then there was a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yes.
In short, it was a movie.
And it was a film. Some might call it a feature film.
Mm-hmm. 2 hours, a little over.
Defense, your witness.
Crazy runtime.
Yeah, we know. Trust me. We felt it. Go ahead.
Big Body Bane, you have an overview, non-spoiler thing that you want to
care about Bane's opinion?
A little bit, yeah. To this episode,
you didn't even know that nigga was here.
This episode, I care a little tiny bit.
Mm-hmm. Johnathan Majors, BHM, Yeah, it's a tour de force. Great.
Right.
You know, I think outside of that, I really enjoyed all the aliens, I guess. Yeah, the aliens were interesting.
Hey, this
Are
is
they
gonna
aliens?
be so
What would you
fun,
call
man.
them?
I can't wait.
Know.
Can we just
What would you call them? They're not aliens because
Well,
they don't
I
live
call
on
them-
the planet.
Can we just tell people to stop watching?
They're quantians.
They're quantiites, quantumites,
Quantumites?
Quantumites.
Subatomic people.
So they had a bunch of foreign creatures and a black man. So all foreign creatures.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So if that's yeah, it was okay. Back to you, LA. Back to you in the studio, LA.
Remember that clip? Remember that clip? Was it from the episode? Was it from Battle of the Bastards? That clip of Jon Snow with all the horse riding at him.
That's Battle of the Bastards. Yeah.
Definitely me.
Definitely that's LA right now.
So 100%.
If we get a picture of the
now.
back of LA's head, Photoshop that on there, and use it for the art for this episode, that'd be great.
I could.
Could you put our faces on the horsemen?
I might be able to figure that out. I make no promises.
Tough break, nigga.
Oh, that.
Tough break, nigga. Always Guardians.
I enjoyed the film. It is not without its faults. There are a lot of, let's say, inspirations that were probably taken too far. It story-wise, it hit some beats that I liked. Overall, I thought it was okay. Johnathan Majors as Kang, I think is going to be mad enjoyable for the next, presumably, 6-8 movies that we may get in this entire phase. Or I guess between TV shows and film, because certain things that happen seems like he's going to be popping up in multiple iterations of what they got planned. So excited for the future. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the film. So I knew you would set something up. I didn't know what it was.
He didn't believe half that shit. I'm excited for the future.
It hurt him so bad to say that.
I'm excited for the future.
I have to be measured. I have a measured response.
I'm excited for the future. I love it, man.
All right, we're gonna get into spoilers now. We're gonna get into spoilers now. Before we do, I have to if
spoke to Kevin and he says it
if
tees up everything.
If you're not,
I spoke to KF and he told me the figs.
We're tight. We have a group thread.
The guy.
If you're driving, take your hand off the wheel, take your eyes off the wheel, and go find us on YouTube on youtube.com/ at DTWTpod to get the visual effect of what about to happen. But yeah, we're gonna get into spoilers, but I gotta grab something real fast.
Damn.
I don't know if this setup is going to be so good.
This is going to be the
payoff of this.
Stupid watch. This is going to be something dumb.
I'm really worried about what he's allegedly going to grab.
Allegedly.
I hope it's somebody was at his door. Or
he knows that bullets don't go through the screen of the.
Yeah, I don't know what he thinks is going to happen. Oh, there he is. He went to get his cape.
Oh my God.
He has to get his cape.
Is
there holes in that cape already? There are holes in that cape already?
That cape got flare.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna need it. Tight.
Already got holes in it.
Oh man.
Yep. Makes sense. Tale as old as time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get into spoilers. So, turn the podcast off, you a brokey.
Yeah, you should have been seeing the movie.
Or poor at your time management.
Yeah, because, you know what I'm saying? What, you got a family? Fuck them.
Pretty much. We tell you all the time.
I got 3 kids and I went.
You didn't take them either.
Didn't one of them just turn another year recently?
Yeah, today. Well,
today?
I don't know when this comes out, but Sunday is 8th birthday.
Still
Happy birthday to Lance, man. Happy birthday.
Left that man at home. Went to go see.
This episode is dedicated to Lance.
You said he's 6'1" now?
Close.
You got Johnathan Major physique after being in kitty jail. All right, so where do we want to start with this? Where do we want to start? Let's
okay, do this. Wait, LA, do this, and I'll let you. You're probably best suited to do this because we didn't really give this movie like what it was about. So maybe you can set up. You can say where we are.
Just give a very quick summary of this film.
Yeah, I don't want to hear your personal feelings.
I'm trusting you to give a quick summary.
Just tell us where we are in the arc and what this is setting up.
Please. Okay. A quick summary.
It's gonna be a torturous hour for me. We catch up with Scott Lang and the gang. Scott Lang, the blip has happened. The Avengers Endgame has happened. Everybody knows he's famous. He's wrote a book.
Oh, my bad, player. Oh, that's my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He's wrote a book. He's gone on tour. What's her name? Wasp. She's taken over the company. Life is good.
Her name is Hope.
Marvel What's her name?
Doesn't matter.
Her name is Hope. Marvel.
Doesn't matter. She's barely in this movie.
Cassie's we're barely in it either.
Yeah, Cassie's been working with Grandpa, making a Quantumania signal to go down into the quantum realm. They go down in there. They fuck around with a little bit of shit. Meet Kang, who knows how to do a lot of shit with time. And yeah, that's it. That's pretty much the whole.
She makes what's basically a radio that allows you to communicate in different
two-way
realms.
radio with the help of Hank Pym.
Yes, that signal is then acquired on the other end. They're sucked into this little machine, and then they go on.
Yeah, but basically, it's more or less a chance for the MCU to set up their next big bad, which will be Kang, Johnathan Majors, Kang the Conqueror.
How bad is he?
I mean, there's a bunch of them. We'll get into that when we talk about the post-credit scenes. But this has been kind of teased already through the Loki series on Disney Plus Plus. At the end of that, we meet He Who Remains, who kind of sets the precedent of, hey, look, I'm not really the baddest one out of all of me. Really, all of me are the worst ones. And the reason I'm doing this is because a lot of me's are going to be fucking up the timeline if I don't do this the way I'm doing it. So, like I said, in the movie, Ant-Man, Scott Lang is pretty much enjoying his semi-retirement. He's not been Avengering for quite some time. He's gone on a book tour. Hope is taking over the whole company, and she's... this is what I thought was funny, because they live in San Francisco. She's doing like housing. She's solving housing and all this other stuff, which I thought was funny.
Apparently not a good enough job, because her daughter's trying to help people not be homeless.
Yeah, it's a protest. Yeah. So they tried to set up this whole, because we haven't seen Cassie since she was like a young girl. So now she's a teenager.
We saw her in Endgame as a teenager.
Well, it was a different actress. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. They used a different actress. When she opened the door.
This nigga like Marvel?
I just forgot. It's been a while.
This nigga don't know Hope name. You don't remember any stuff that happened in Endgame.
Well, I forgot.
That cape is getting looser and looser by the length of this review.
It is. It's a lot to beat up. But yeah, no, they try to establish real quick that, you know, she wants to help, basically, and by any means necessary. And she kind of berates Scott for not continuing to help people, even though it seems like now that he's gotten what he needs out of saving the world, he doesn't want to continue. And then hijinks ensue after they find out that Hank and her has been creating this quantum two-way radio. Then they do stuff in this movie that I really hate, where there's a character who is withholding information. So we have Miss Van Dyne that's like withholding all of the cards about Kang. They keep doing the pronoun game where they keep calling him over and over again until, like, we know who this is. Like, why do they keep withholding this information? Like, who's this?
He's the only reason we're hyped for this movie.
Right. I was like, what? I was like, why did they do this so much? So this is directed again by Peyton Reed. I thought comedy-wise, it did a decent job, but there were some bits that went on too long. And I think we need to go ahead and get it out of the way. The CGI of this movie is really poor. It's really, really bad. And let me say this. I don't think Avatar is a good movie, right? But goddamn is it visually stunning.
Look, now, I'm gonna shoot Marvel bail. I'm not comparing anything that James Cameron budgets to what Marvel has to do and has to do consistently when James Cameron's only focused on one property.
I agree.
So
time is on Cameron's side. I wish they would have taken, even if I gotta wait 3 years for another Marvel movie. Do it.
They give those effect shops like 4 or 5 months.
We are waiting 3 years for another Marvel movie. There's no good ones till 2025.
Sure. Sure. I guess we don't know yet, but
Thunderbolts.
Everybody was worried about me, and I feel like I won't even be the worst one here today.
Look, okay, Kang, you think I'm the bad variant? But you worried about me? You don't even got an apple.
I ain't even.
You even got an apple in your hand.
I ain't even fired no shots.
You ain't even molded no cams out of play.
I'm trying to get it out the way early, right? Because the CGI is really bad. I mean, there's certain moments in this movie where it's distractingly bad. Like when she goes to grab,
8 Mile move. He's trying to do the shit, at the end where he's trying to.
Yeah.
If I say everything about myself, you can't say nothing about me.
You got me. You feel what I'm doing.
Yeah, my real name's not Clarence though. Go ahead.
I mean, they do things in this movie that feel like it's from a older Marvel film in terms of how they structure some of the plot. Also, Peyton Reed clearly was influenced by Star Wars. Not the best one though. Like he feels like he did a lot of Attack of the Clone type scenarios in this movie. And they also did a thing
and he also did New Hope. That whole last thing is like straight out of New Hope.
Yes, I agree. It was, but they became too on the nose, where they were no longer influences. They just felt like ripoffs at some point. And there's also the whole convoluted setup of there's people in the quantum realm.
Marvel's convoluted.
Yes, it is. Which isn't always a bad thing. Comics are convoluted. That just happens. But that's never been in question. But the thing that's messed up about it is the funny fact that there's just regular people down in the quantum realm and they just choose not to talk about it. They just kind of gloss over it.
Because somehow to them they're not normal. They're not normal to them. So
yeah.
And apparently you have to drink this goo to hear things
which comedically is funny, but it doesn't make any sense.
It makes literally no fucking sense.
Now when it's space, okay,
so they serve this shit at a bar.
Aliens,
so they just expect
space, and they can understand them just fine. But somehow,
but they serve this shit at the bar. They just expect new people to just be flying in the quantum realm. Oh yeah, just drink this, fam. You good?
Yeah.
The fuck? What?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Now there are some fun things that are in this little thing, like the buildings that are alive. That was great. Like the end of end of the movie where like the building is holding the other building in its arms. I got a chuckle at it. I thought it was fucking funny. I thought it was good.
Okay, I gotta say this because I notoriously cut bail for CGI. I've never knocked a film for its CGI. Even a movie like Black Panther, where I'll admit that last scene, that little tunnel, whatever scene, it's not very good. Yeah, the train scene is not very good. Yeah. But because of the entire movie, I'm not gonna knock it because of that.
LA night.
Yeah, like I'm not. I wish it wouldn't have been like that, but I'm not gonna knock it because the good parts of the movies didn't rely on it.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and I'm glad you brought up Avatar, not me. Is if you're gonna take me to a world in which you want me to be excited about that world, I want you to put the time into making that world actually look good. And there were points when it was taking me out of it because it looked so fake.
Yes.
Like it looked so bad that I never felt immersed.
I would have forgave it if they made the quantum realm special in some sort of way. But they made it seem inconsequential when the fact that Kang presumably got sent there as a prison. And so it's like, is it consequential or is it not? Because like they start this war there essentially. But like we don't ultimately care about those characters because we're not going to see them again. Some of them are fun while on screen, but ultimately I don't care about their fate. So like they didn't even really make that world believable. Cause it's just like you just have normal looking people and a couple of like weird things. clash together, and they don't take the time to explain it. What do y'all got?
Looser by the second. Looser by the second.
Cam, you want to go or you want me to go?
I'm chilling, bro. Go ahead. I'm just soaking in the ambiance.
Okay. I'm gonna
this
do
movie that you said you was ready to pay for, but didn't have any characters to care about, and did a shitty job with their villain.
I'm not finished. I'm not.
I'm gonna do this.
Let him rock. It's okay. Let him rock. Hey, look. I'm gonna let LA land, and we call this landing 9/11. Continue, man. Go ahead.
Oh my God! Why? Why are we always trading off who's going to say the most horrible thing?
Okay.
Oh my God!
LA,
yeah, I know, man. Steel beams, gold under the building.
Do you have a
Go
point?
Ahead, man. You got it.
Do you have a point to make, or?
Well, no. I'm just saying. All that being said, the story that they gave for Ant-Man and Kang and the setup of what is to come, I enjoyed. Like, I thought Ant-Man was fine.
You enjoy one of the most powerful beings in the universe getting beat by an Ant-Man and some smart ants.
Hold on. Let him rock. Let him finish.
Okay.
You mean the Ewoks?
Okay.
Yeah, the Ewoks. Yeah, go ahead. The Ewoks got him out of here. Yep.
Being that we got the end credit scene that we got, right?
I'm gonna rely on credits.
Wait. It's part of the movie. It being that the end credit scene that we got what we got. And seeing us out. And seeing how Kang doesn't have all his abilities.
Oh my God. Oh shit.
Oh my God, this is fun.
No, go ahead, King. I'm not laughing at you.
I know. It's fine. All I'm saying is that he's not at the full strength that he's the Conqueror of. He's not. He's just not.
Okay.
Yeah, he just built an entire civilization in the quantum realm. He's not powerful though.
He's this scary person that when you mention his name, everybody quivers. But he's not powerful yet. He's weak.
He didn't suspend Ant-Man's daughter in the air with a finger and then try to snap her in half. He didn't do none of that. He had no power.
That didn't matter.
Ultimately,
that could do nothing for them ants. When the smart ants came,
woo!
He was no match.
Michael Douglas, but Wall Street.
Greed is good.
I actually like that moment. Thought the moment was cool. The OG Ant-Man.
Cool.
Yeah.
The OG Ant-Man that they never really let be Ant-Man when he should have been Ant-Man when they were making fucking Ultron, right? That guy?
He's still mad about that.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I absolutely am.
Cam, may I?
No, I'm sorry. Go right ahead, King.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my fellow Kang. Go ahead, Kang.
Look, let me tell you what I'm not gonna do.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get into a long diatribe about how we tend to let these movies off the hook, but movies that try to be something, we're hypercritical about them. I'm not even going to do that. I'm not going to go down that line. I'm not going to go about, the way Hollywood is trying
it's your favorite line.
I'm not doing that. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to judge these films based off of their own kind. Can I do that? Is that fair?
It's racist, but please do.
Go ahead, Pastor.
I'm going to judge. I'm going to judge you people.
Can I do that, family?
that wording was a little racist, but that's okay.
I'm going to judge you people based off of you people. If I could do that, is that okay?
Go off, King.
Okay.
All right, Fox News. Let's do it.
Okay. If
Antonio,
if Marvel had given us a bunch of movies like this, then I'd be like, all right, this is what it is. But I'm having to judge this based off of movies that this same group of people have put out. They put out movies like Guardians. They put out movies like Black Panther. They put out movies like I know Cam doesn't feel the same way about it, but I like Ragnarok. They put out movies like Ragnarok. They put out movies like I thought you did. Okay, maybe I'm mixing you up with somebody.
I love Ragnarok. Yeah,
so they put those movies out. They gave us Winter Soldier. Like they gave us these movies. So this is like their bar. So then when I have that as my bar, that's what I'm judging the rest of these movies off of. And so it's hard for me to not count, to not judge them based off of not hitting on these notes that they've hit on before. So it's like, it's only fair. My man crying. He crying. I know. I wanted to cry too in the theater. So it's not even that. If I check on their counterparts across the aisle, we'll look at movies like Dark Knight, like The Batman. We've seen what good superhero movies look like. And then when we have a movie like this, that's just kind of like, the storyline is like whatever. The acting is like okay. It's all based on some effects that don't really land well. There's like crazy plot holes that I don't understand. I don't get why this guy is getting beat this easily by that guy. Like Cam mentioned, why there's someone why they have to drink some There's just so many weird things going on here, and I just don't understand it. I know, I got it too. That's how I feel too. And I don't know. I feel like that's fair though, right? Like Marvel's already set their bar, so then I get to judge them by that bar, right?
I mean, sure. I don't feel like
no, yes.
I don't think you should judge Marvel's movies by Marvel's movies. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. They show me they show me what they're capable of. So then when I get mid all the time, then it's like, why can't you do that? You did it already. Do that more often.
Basically what he's saying, LA, let's put it in music terms real quick. Imagine if Jay-Z dropped Reasonable Doubt, but then just kept dropping Kingdom Come after that. You'd be mad, right? You'd be like, I know he's capable of doing this.
That is beautiful.
Why isn't he doing this all the time? He could do this.
Right.
Makes sense.
No,
right?
I understand what you're saying. Yeah,
Shang-Chi.
That film is fine. There's nothing wrong with that film.
Explain yourself.
That film is fine. It's
fine.
Not. It's
so
not
Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come's fine. Beach Chairs on that album.
Kingdom Come is a solid album.
Lost One is on that album, but it ain't Reasonable fucking Doubt.
Exactly.
So are we saying
Winter Soldier? It ain't Ragnarok.
Are we saying that every Marvel movie should always be or should
good?
Always?
No, okay.
But
so
I don't categorize this movie as bad though.
So this goes to my deeper point about how these movies don't seem to allow any individual artistry to them. Like there's nothing about this movie that seemed to have the imprint of a director. So far, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's only 4 directors that have had that benefit. And we've seen that with the Thor movies, we've seen that with Black Panther, we've seen that probably with that's one I forgot on.
Yeah.
We got that with Raimi.
And even that
may not have worked out well, but we got that with Raimi. Yeah. So we got that with Raimi. That movie had his imprint, and we could say maybe the Russo brothers. That's kind of like looked like they've kind of got a signature. Kind of.
I don't know, man. Gray man. I don't know if we really can say it.
Kind of. I was trying to give him some love. Kind of.
I feel you.
But that's pretty much it. So outside of that, everything is just like, it almost seems like a factory press. Like we're just stamping movies out, and I gotta be excited about this movie because this movie sets up the next movie, and I gotta be excited about that movie because that movie sets up the next movie. And am I just in I feel like I'm in a hamster wheel.
You're on a conveyor belt, bro.
Like I feel like I can't take this movie and appreciate it for what it could possibly be in the greater scheme.
So I feel differently about it because I feel the same way. I feel yes. I know.
Let's talk about this in pre-pro. He feels differently.
Like, what exactly do you feel differently about?
So take Captain America, the first Avenger movie.
Okay.
When that movie first came out, especially at the start of the phase, because when Iron Man came out, they had no real plans of making this a thing. When Captain America came out is when they actually started that this is going to be the start of something. Watching that movie the first time felt kind of dull. Watching it again in context of the larger tapestry is a better film.
No, the fuck
on
you
a
did
rewatch.
Not do that. You did not. No, you did not. You didn't just do that.
It did. So I feel like this movie.
You did not just say that Captain America.
Yeah.
The first Avenger.
It's a way better
movie. All of a sudden redeemed because you know that there's Avengers coming.
Yeah, it adds context to the film.
Wow.
So
that's literally what he's saying. He's literally saying you can't judge these films on their own merit because you have to think about everything else surrounding them. That's not a movie anymore. You're a TV show. You're still in comic book world. You need to change yourself to fit the medium that you're trying to mold into. Come on, my nigga.
I don't think I have to agree to that standpoint anymore, and I don't think MCU is trying to do that anymore.
No, I understand. Okay, you don't have to, but I'm saying that's the stance.
You're making a moot point because he literally just said he doesn't like that shit. So why are you telling him?
No, I'm saying here's why, and there's a deeper reason to that. Because if we're gonna cut them slack, because they're a comic book movie, and somehow comic book movies get to be judged by some type of different standard. I don't know. If that's what the case is, then that's fine. But I'm saying, that's not fair to the film that's trying to be something that may not land, but it's going to get all of our criticism. Why is that not fair? Because now we're talking about money, we're talking about box office, and we're talking about the possibility of this getting made again. So what happens is if we're gonna be ultra critical about James Cameron for trying to do some revolutionary stuff, which he's done, if we're gonna judge him, and go through that with a fine tooth comb, if we're gonna do that, then why can't we do that here?
How do you know you didn't like the second Avatar movie when you know what the third one's gonna be about?
Because I've seen the first one.
But you already saw Captain America before the other ones came out, and now you're saying it's good.
Yes, but there's only 2 movies in that franchise where this one has over 10. There's only 2.
The point is, you don't know where the story's going. You don't know where the story's going, right?
Okay, if I see the third one,
you don't know where the story's going.
If I see the third one,
good, then why rate a movie in a series at all until you see the whole series?
Well, everyone does that. Everyone is going to do that. You never see the movie.
Do you know that?
Yes. But there is context to everything. If you go back and rewatch and revisit a property, it's a franchise. It's a franchise. It's not a singular movie. Even though y'all always
it is though. They are singular
movie.
They are singular works. I could have swore
that just because I paid to watch Ant-Man, I don't get into fucking Guardians for free, nigga. I gotta pay to see that too. This is all singular movies. They are singular events. You don't get a ticket to one and get it everything, my nigga. That's not how this works.
This is not a Showtime. This is not a Showtime.
You know it's connected.
Where I get all the episodes.
But you know it's connected to a larger world.
But that's not an excuse. That's what I'm saying.
That's not an excuse to make a subpar property.
That's all I'm saying. Here's my point. All I'm saying is, and I'm not even getting into the whether or not something is good or bad. I'm getting into the what are you trying to do? Because look, at the end, what these are just stories. And I liken this to thousands of years ago when people sat around a campfire and listened to a guy tell the story. I may not have liked every story that got told, but the fact is that was the tradition, was to tell us stories. So maybe you might tell a story that I liked. I may not like next week's story, but what I like is a concept of sitting around a fire and maybe hearing something new. And what I'm saying in this case is, or let me just say in the grand scheme of cinema right now, is that's not happening. We're not celebrating guys for doing new things. We're celebrating people for rehearsing and rehashing old properties, doing sequels and remakes. That's what gets love right now. But what doesn't get love is when a director tries to do something and it's quirky and it doesn't fit. We dog M. Night, but M. Night every time he's swinging for the fence every time, but he's not getting love for swinging for the fence. And I think he should get all the love.
I'm never going to give him love for The Happening, bro. I'm sorry.
I get it.
He gave a 5-minute monologue to a nigga who like hot dogs.
I get it. Listen, I totally understand. I totally understand it. But to me, it's the alternative is we get the cookie cutter. And we get the boring kind of every movie kind of hits the same beats. It's the same beginning, middle, and end. That's why whenever Tarantino makes a movie or Nolan makes a movie that doesn't go chronologically, people lose their minds. Oh my goodness, this doesn't fit the normal way of storytelling that I like. But then we get this, which is just kind of a movie. That's all I can say. It's a movie that I probably won't revisit.
So how did you feel about the Star Wars I mean, like I said earlier, it's basically ripoffs. But did you see that while you were watching? Was that like apparent as you was watching the film?
Nigga, yes. What?
Yeah.
This was immensely
But
apparent.
I'm asking him because he's a big Star Wars fan. So
Yeah, but I don't.
I'm just curious how he took it.
I don't mind odes to the past at all. Matter of fact, I appreciate that. What? But again, take the Joker for example. We're not even gonna talk about whether or not that's good or bad, but like that was like a Taxi Driver. Like that was a nod to that. Mm-hmm. And I'm cool with things like that. Like I have no problem with you taking like that style and you kind of like doing a fresh take of a style. Like I got no issue with that at all. But that wasn't my problem with this movie.
What was your overall problem?
It was just blah. Like there was nothing that stood out about it to me. Like we think about the movies where we leave and then there's like, dang, I need to watch that again. And there's nothing about this that makes me feel like I need to revisit anything.
There are moments where I'm watching the movie where I was like, man, I kind of wish we would have got, instead of Peyton Reed, I wish we would have got, damn, what was his name? I had it and I lost it. He was going to be the original. He was going to be the original.
You're talking about.
He was going to be the original
director.
director.
Supposed to be on.
Yeah, the one that did Baby Driver.
Yeah, and he ended up like
Scott
pulling
Pilgrim.
out, didn't he?
Edward Wright.
Edward Wright.
Yeah.
Edward Wright.
Edgar Wright. Yeah.
Edgar Wright,
Because I feel like he would have been able to pull off a lot of these things well. Because Peyton Reed, it felt like the movie was fighting itself. Because it felt like Peyton Reed wanted to make a comedy, but he also wanted to make a Marvel movie. And there were certain bits that just went too long that were like funny originally, and then, for example, the scene where it's a bunch of the possibilities of him, I thought was a cool scene, and I thought it was funny when the Baskin Robbins version of him shows up. And then the second time he shows up, I was like, okay, diminishing, but okay. And then once he's like climbing the top for Cassie, he shows up again, and I was like, too far. Took it too far. And it felt like there was a lot of those things that were like, there were moments that was really good, and then there would be times like, too far. Like, why do we have to go here? Like, the inclusion of Bill Murray.
Very ironic conversation, by the way.
The inclusion of Bill Murray, just kind of needless. Like, they didn't really need him to.
See, I don't have a problem with that. I know actors just like to. This has reached Star Wars status where.
Yeah,
like actors are begging to be shot down in an X-wing. Like they don't even care. They just want to say that they were on. So I have no problem with that part.
Yeah, I just felt like it was supposed to be like some type of moment between Hank, Hope, and the mom, but it didn't really lead to anything because they were still doing like the withholding information. I'm doing this to protect you trope, which is really a tired.
Well, he's
trope.
who they use.
Well,
he's who they use to start that because he's the one that asked the question, and then that's what got us to the point where we finally get that answer. So. That was kind of I assumed that was a purpose of his character was to lead us into what would that have been? Was that like Act 2 or
Well, I'm gonna lead us right into a commercial break and we'll be right back. And we're back. So, Cam, you've been not as vocal about this movie as a whole. Interested to hear some of your overall thoughts.
Cam, you got a skillet? You need some seasoning salt?
I'm ready, bro. Don't worry.
I got you. Just I got you if you need it.
This nigga got notes.
I got this 6-burner stove if you need it.
Nah, all first verse. All first verse.
Bet.
So I'm not even gonna ask him because we already know his whole thing about, how the endings of movies, and if they fall apart at the end, it can really ruin a movie for LA, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when he watched Kang, who was so dangerous to the other Kangs, he was exiled from the Kangs and sent to the quantum realm. When he watched him get two-pieced by Ant-Man and MAGA Wasp, he said, "No, that's fine because there's more Kangs." And I just think that's some laughable shit because that makes zero fucking sense. Ant-Man should never beat any major villain ever. This is like if like Yamcha beat any major villain in Dragon Ball Z. That's literally what this is. Ant-Man should never ever get a W of this magnitude against anybody.
Well, it wasn't just Ant-Man, it was the world building ants.
I mean, they're the ones who destroyed his suit.
But Cam, don't you remember?
They live
don't you remember when they said that Ant-Man could shrink down small and then grow big inside of Thanos?
Oh shit, that's right. That's right. You so right. And then I remember how that never fucking happened because that would never happen. Okay. This wasn't some run amok humor filled. It wasn't He Who Remains. It wasn't some random small Kang. They said in these whole build up witnessed the birth of a dynasty. All I saw was Johnathan Majors flex one good arm. The little suit got taken off by ants. Of course, it had to be ants.
Yeah.
And then he, gets two-pieced by the Wasp and Scott Lang and gets banished off somewhere because he's not actually dead. We know that. But there's no possible way that Ant-Man should have gotten a W there. That's part one. Part two. Let me ask you this, though, LA. How much would you say the CGI makes up of this movie?
98%.
So if 98% of this movie is done poorly, how's it a good movie?
Uh-oh.
Say it again. You cut out.
If 98% of this movie is done poorly, how's it a good movie?
Well, the CGI is not the story.
I just asked you. Wait, no, time out. I just asked you how much of this movie is CGI.
It's about 98% of it. But that's
98% of it is done poorly.
Yeah, the CGI is not the story. That's different.
But it's 98% of the
movie. How much of the movie is the story? That's so like divide it up. How much is the story? How much is the CGI?
How much of this movie
how much is the acting?
The CGI?
Like, how do you break it up?
How much of this movie hinges on the CGI?
That relies on CGI?
It's a movie
35, 40%.
35 to 40%, and it's done poorly.
That leaves the rest of it to be good. Yeah, that leaves the rest of it to be good.
That means it's a 60%, right? And that's not that means everything else has to be done perfect, right? To be 60%, right?
I wouldn't say perfect. It has to be.
Well, okay. How do you do math? Because in math, in order to get the entirety of your credit, you have to do it perfectly if you fucked up the other part, right? So, if it's not 60%, because everything else ain't perfect in this movie besides the CGI, there's other problems in this movie, right? We've discussed them. You brought them up.
This is such a stupid way to do this.
It's a stupid way to do it now.
Yes.
Okay.
No. See,
because real quick. This is such an arbitrary way of how to talk about a movie.
No, real quick, Cam. Cam, I got you.
30, 40.
Cam,
I'm making it easier for you.
Cam, I got you. Cam, I got you. We'll let this.
I need a moment of peace.
Listen.
Got his back against the wall.
Listen. The same as when I introed this. I didn't even get into my own diatribe. I was like, let's judge it by the bar that all of us agree to. Cam's asking you questions that you yourself have knocked other movies for. So we're just trying to see. You've knocked movies for CG. You've knocked movies because storylines didn't make sense, and you've knocked movies for endings that are lackluster.
I'm not even done yet. Was the story in this movie completely coherent?
Yes.
The story of this movie is completely coherent. There's no issues in the story. You already said there was issues in the story. Why are you lying?
No, the story overall is about Scott and his daughter.
Word?
Yes.
You sure?
Ultimately, it's about them. Yes.
Okay, so then why was so much of it Janet Van Dyne?
It was not a lot about her.
It wasn't? Who's the first person you see in this movie?
That has nothing to do with it being all about her. The first person.
She's in this movie almost equally as Scott.
No, she's not. No, she's not.
Is she not in this movie almost as equally as Scott?
No.
Let me ask there's other people on this podcast. I can ask them.
It's two stories about two sets of parents and kids. It's about Janet and Hope as much as it is about Scott and Cassie. They're playing the stories parallel.
Yeah, but if that's true, then why don't we get any of that connection with her and her daughter?
Because it's bad.
Because it's not written well, nigga. You answering your own questions. It's not well written. You also said you didn't like the Cassie's part too much, right?
I said it got better in the third act also.
So that means for 2 acts it wasn't that good.
You are trying to make me say that this is a perfect movie, which I've adamantly
I'm not.
It's not.
I'm trying to make you understand how this works. I'm breaking it down to a very simple level. I'm trying to make it so you realize you can't get out of this, nigga. You can't. There's no way you can dance around this shit. All right? We're going to take it section by section here with this. There's acting, there's story, there's the CGI, there's the ending, and none of them were done to the best of their ability. So how can this movie be anything above a D?
I wish I had a cigar to light right now. That'd be so cold.
How is it above anything other than a D? Because you got Victor Lightly at the end, my nigga? No.
It's a
because you got the Kang Council at the end? No. We had Kang get beat up by fucking Ant-Man and some ants. Okay? We had a not so good actual storyline. We had bad CGI. We didn't have good performances all the way around. It's a D. It's that simple.
It's a C. It's a C. The main performer that I got the best work out of was Paul Rudd and also Johnathan Majors, which you yourself said both did well.
Johnathan Majors was great. Scott was fine. That's 2 actors in a movie that had about 8 people with a bunch of dialogue. I don't know if you know how 2 to 8 works. It's not a good ratio.
Yeah, but they take up the majority of the screen time.
So what?
It's a good bad.
So now that they take up the majority, the math ain't the math.
My nigga, it's a 2-hour movie.
Okay, and they take up the majority of the runtime. Those 2 characters.
No, they don't take. There's other characters in this film who have big parts where those 2 are not even on the screen.
Johnathan Majors should have had like 10 or 15 more minutes.
He's in that movie. You see him at the beginning of that movie and then don't see him for another 45 to 50 minutes. What are you talking about?
Who? Kang?
Yes.
Yeah, you get him in the intro. He shoots the thing, saves homegirl, and you don't see him again for a while.
And you don't see him for like another hour. You just hear pronouns.
Yeah, because he dominates the end of the second and all of the third, which is how most villains happen anyway.
So if he's not in the movie for an hour, where were the other people in the movie, right? And if Scott wasn't on the screen for most of that second hour either, because they had to go with Janet running around with fucking Hank and her and Hope, they had to split that. So I'm just wondering how the math works. The world that you said wasn't set up well, right?
I agree, it's not.
Okay.
I agree, the world was not set up well.
I know. I know it wasn't set up well. We've all pointed it out. So this is a movie that failed to set up its world correctly. All the performances weren't good. The CGI was bad. The ending was questionable, very questionable. And this is a passing grade film.
How else were you expecting the Ant-Man film to go?
You saying Ant-Man can't lose in this movie? Ant-Man can't lose? Ant-Man is infallible? So if Ant-Man loses
how?
to Kang gets out. What do you mean how? Just let Kang leave the quantum realm. How would that have been bad on Ant-Man? We can't fuck up Ant-Man's image? The fuck is that?
In the movie.
To answer your question, that's completely how I thought this was going to go.
I thought
he was going to run wild.
And Kang
was going to run wild because they teased this in Loki. They teased this. Don't do this because if you do this, it's going to unleash some stuff you don't want.
Real ugly.
We still haven't gotten what we don't want. How much longer do we have to wait to get the bad part?
And then, hold on, I'm not even done yet. So, you said it don't matter because there's so many other Kangs, right?
Right.
How long do we have until Kang Dynasty?
I don't have the date in front of me.
You know how long it is, nigga. Don't play with me. How long?
True. I don't remember the date. I'll have
2
to look
years.
it up.
Basically, we got about 2 years until Kang Dynasty. So you're telling me within 2 years, we're gonna realize that he's that powerful? In 2 years of films.
Why not?
Where he's not gonna be in all of them. Because he's not gonna be in all of them.
Do you remember that Thanos wasn't properly set up until we got to Endgame?
No, yeah, perfect. I'm glad you said that. How long did that take? How long did we go when we first saw? No, you do know. Nigga, quit playing. How long?
10 years?
10 years. 10 years.
Okay.
We got 2 years to realize that how strong Kang is, and he's already taken 2 L's.
Technically taking 1 L. He. Are you talking about He Who Remains took the L? Is that what you're talking about?
He took an L.
Yeah, but he also wasn't superpowered.
Yeah, but he also there's no but he took 2 L's already off rip. We didn't see Thanos take a real L until he died.
Okay, LA, I got a question. And this isn't about how good the movie is. This is just about the villain. How long did it take for you to realize in Dark Knight that the Joker was a problem?
Why would I ever think that Joker wouldn't be a problem?
How long does the movie take to let you know that the Joker is a problem?
This is not a 1-for-1.
It is a 1-for-1.
It's
literally
he didn't have to use it. He didn't have to use the Dark Knight, but I get what he's saying. Like, how long does a good movie with a good villain take to show you that this villain is not to be fucked with? Is what he's saying, essentially.
So for the one example, it took them about 10, 15 minutes.
Okay. Dark Knight Rises. How long did it take for you to realize that Bane was a problem?
About 10, 15 minutes.
I don't know.
Literally, the opening scene is of them crashing a plane. That's all I'm saying. If this guy is supposed to be this guy, you never get to see him actually be that guy. But that's a Marvel problem. We don't really ever see villains really actually get to flex. For whatever reason,
but again,
villains
the difference
get cut down.
The difference of what you're talking about is how these two universes are set up.
No, listen. Okay, perfect example.
Why would they blow the load all in Ant-Man?
Because this is supposed to be one of the most powerful beings ever.
Wait, time out. So they shouldn't show him be as dangerous as he can be, but they should show him getting his ass beat.
Did they not show a prelude of what it can be and what will ultimately most likely be?
No, they kind of just shoveled him aside very quickly.
Killmonger caught more fades than him.
Yeah, but they were in the quantum realm. He's not like he was out in the world to really show how much damage he could do yet.
Then why have him do anything?
But they gave us hints of that. They gave us hints of how powerful he could be. But as soon as they gave it to you, what was at the Allstate commercial when it was like, "Well, you gotta be quicker than that."
What's crazy to me is that you guys want Kang to like be the Thor beat up scene right now.
No, we just want you to. This guy again.
No, I just don't want him losing to fucking Ant-Man.
In
he's
just
the
2
big
years
bad of your franchise.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine if the first time you saw Thanos at the end of the Avengers trailer, out of nowhere, Hawkeye just comes up and starts giving him hands. Just imagine if you see some shit like that. You'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Think about all the Thanos screen time. This man doesn't lose until the very, very end. He doesn't lose fights. Like they may be able to evade it. Like I'm cool with him. I like if okay. Here's how we make this movie better.
If they'd have just beat up MODOK, cool. You beat the henchman, fine.
Exactly. Here's how they make.
You didn't touch him.
Perfect example. I got you, LA. I got you, LA.
They basically turned him into Lord Zed from the Power Rangers. He's gonna get his ass kicked every time until the end of the series.
Check this out. Here's how you make this movie better. You really set up this final scene to let us know of it, like the taste of what he can be, because you have to remember, like you are looking at this through a lens that not everybody looks at this through. Everybody watching these movies is not an expert on Kang, the same as we weren't an expert on Thanos. This is not like Joker where we already have that understanding. So you have to go extra to let people know this is possibly somebody who can do something. You have him run wild. He's serving them dudes. He can leave the same way he left in this movie by some quantum electrical accident. Boom. Like that. I'm fine with that being how you get him out of here. So that way you still have your heroes live to fight another day. But this guy, like, nobody dies. Like, who really, like he doesn't really get anybody out of here that should have been got out of here. He killed the fire glass helmet, the glass head dude. That's the only guy.
Yeah.
The cool alien. The only cool alien.
Yeah.
But we really
I didn't think they was gonna get stuck. I thought they was gonna get stuck.
Okay, look, check it out. How threatening is it to show all the different Kangs if every time you've seen Kang so far he loses?
Yeah, but we don't know what all of them are capable of. They're all different.
But that's what we're saying.
Why aren't you answering the question? How threatening
what we're saying?
is it
What we're saying is we need you.
But they're all different. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, but
doesn't
not
matter
all the
if
same
every
person.
time. It doesn't matter if every time you see them they lose.
No, but
But
that's
they're
what
all
we're saying.
different people.
No, LA, we get
They're
that.
not
But
the
what we're
same
saying,
thing.
we understand that. But so far,
We're talking
every
about,
iteration,
we're talking about the view of the common viewer. You always try to read this common viewer bullshit about how Marvel is the word for the common viewer.
yeah.
What is the common viewer gonna think when every time they see Johnathan Majors playing a Kang, he dies or he falls off? He can't even beat Ant-Man. If you can't beat the D-level superhero, and you were supposed to be super threatening, why do I care? Oh, well, once Thor and them get here, they're gonna mop the rest of you up. Who cares?
Based off what we saw, Thor gets him out of here quick.
I mean, he's already said that he's killed Thor. He dropped that line.
But
that's what I'm saying.
But he couldn't beat Ant-Man.
Okay, perfect example.
Wow.
Perfect example.
But he's
Here we go.
Not. He doesn't have all of his facilities.
But here we go. LA. The worst of what
How many facilities
we
do you
heard
need
of
to beat
him
Ant-Man?
are what we've been told. Some legend.
all he has
it.
is a ship.
Wait, time out. He was able to lift up Ant-Man with a finger, right?
Yeah,
He didn't have all his facilities, right?
No.
He was wearing his suit the whole end of that fucking movie. So you're telling me he couldn't have just went up, lose the suit, break your neck, you're a human being, I don't care, you're done.
Okay, LA.
Yes, but
you, right here.
It's like you want something to happen that you know is not going to happen.
No, I just want more sensible.
Here we go.
Shit. He's that powerful.
Here we go.
He shouldn't lose to Ant-Man.
Here we go. LA, I got you. Is Thor in Thor 1 as powerful as we see him in Infinity Wars? Like, what's the power gap? He gets a lot stronger, right?
Yes.
But we still see this man do work. Like we still get that, okay, like this is a god. This is somebody here. Now, of course, he's not fully realized, but he's somebody that we believe is capable of being a guy that can defend people. So we get that from him. Even though we don't get the full, I understand that. But what I'm saying
he almost lost a fist fight with Iron Man.
I'm understanding that. But what I'm saying is we still got to see him flex. And I'm saying all we saw from Johnathan Majors is a couple right hooks.
Sure.
Against a D-level character.
I think if it had ended with Scott scamming Kang out of this situation and he left
100%.
Kang stranded there, it's a different movie altogether, right? If he didn't overpower Kang, I don't think Kang would be this disappointed. But it's the fact that he
he had him by his neck and his arm, and he fought him off to smash him into something else.
What are we doing? Pin particles.
But you have to
like it was basically a fist fight for the entirety of it.
You have to remember too that Kang is not superhuman. He's just a guy that has tech and the idea or the knowledge of how time in the multiverse works.
Right.
And he uses
why should I be worried about him? Why should I be looking forward to anything?
So you saw a variant of him lose. You saw a variant of him lose. There's almost limitless variants of him that can be a possibility.
So limitless people who don't have powers.
Here we go, Cam. That leads me to the main point. I can't judge this movie by this movie because I've got to wait for something else coming down the line. And I'm saying all these movies are like this. I can't look at this movie singularly and say, wow, what a piece of work. I have to wait and look at this in conjunction with 10 other movies before I could say, oh, wow, this is good.
We can't say they did a bad job with Kang yet because we haven't seen how they're going to do a bad job with Kang in these other movies.
That's the MCU.
Like, I don't need to watch.
It's fucking mid. I need you to appreciate the fact that it's mid.
Like, Empire Strikes Back is fine without the other movies. Of course it serves the movie. But by itself, it stands as a good movie.
See how that works?
And I'm saying if you're telling me about variants that we haven't even seen yet, but what does it have to do with this movie? In this movie, they showed us a heavy that gets beat pretty easily, and I'm saying that happens in most Marvel movies. Like I can't even like I was having a conversation. I forget who it was. He was like, let's rank all the Marvel villains, and I was like, fam, that's not going to take that long because there's like 4 of them that actually do anything great.
Empty gaps. All right, hold on. So let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this, Randoni. All right, so next we got the Guardians of the Galaxy coming out, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw these are all hypotheticals. Obviously, we don't know anything about these movies. Should the Guardians be able to beat Kang?
Presumably. Depending on which version they're fighting, I guess.
Should the Marvels defeat Kang?
Presumably, depending on which one he faces.
Should Captain America beat Kang?
Depends if he has a suit, I guess.
Yeah, because he wins so many other times. He's black. They don't care about black people. The Thunderbolts, then, I guess they could beat Kang too, right? Blade, he could beat Kang. Deadpool, he should be able to beat Kang. He's funny too. He's just like Ant-Man. The Fantastic Four should be able to beat Kang. We have, these are the movies leading up to the next Kang Dynasty film. So that means Kang is going to lose again. And that's okay by LA's measure because we haven't seen all the Kangs yet. Up to 6 to 7 more times before we get the Kang Dynasty. And that's okay because we don't know what it is. We don't even know what it is. No, but it's fine if he does because depending on the variant, he can lose. So we can continue to have him take losses and then people can just go, oh no, he's back. Like he's a fucking Respawn villain in a video game. That's fine though, right?
I want you to answer this question with this premise in mind. Assume you don't know comics. What reason do you have to look forward to any of the other variants?
Common viewer, man. Let's go.
Like, okay, perfect example.
Yeah, common viewer, man.
So even though he didn't get a whole lot of because we first see Thanos in Avengers 1, right? In the post credit scene. So it's
grape drink.
Yeah. He's a whole So there's even the teases of him are teases as like, okay, I don't even know who this guy is, but apparently everything we saw in New York was like him sending the JV squad out. Like kind of like one of the, like, all right, he turns around and smiles. So we're like, okay, who's this guy? And then he makes another appearance in Guardians, right?
Mm-hmm. That's where he finally
finally says, fine, I'll do it myself.
Because so we know the Marvel formula. It's, hey, nobody really cares about Guardians in the common realm. Let's make sure we put something important in it, like how we do Ant-Man here. Let's put something important in there, like how we do Miss Marvel. Let's say that she's the first mutant at the end. Gotta watch it now. You guys know the formula by now.
But fine. But there's a reason. There's a tease there. There's a tease for me to be like, okay, who's this guy? Why do they keep mentioning him? Why is he talking as if like what we've seen before, which have been like some epic fights, were like nothing? Like, I shouldn't have sent the scrub out to do my job. Now I go do it myself. And then the first time that we really, really, really get to see we really get to see Thanos in action, he mops the floor with Hulk. Like, just mops him. Gets this guy out of here.
Just beats
like to the point where one of his
Hulk
homies
don't come out no more.
One of his homies was gonna go help him, and Buddy was like, "Nah, let him have his fun," and works this guy out.
The Hulk wouldn't come out of fucking Bruce Banner for a whole film.
So imagine I don't know who Thanos is. If I'm a person who's never watched Thanos, I'm now watching this and I'm like, uh-oh. Like, this is a guy that apparently we should look out for. And periodically throughout the movie, there's things built up as to why this guy is supposed to be the guy. And I'm saying, so far, outside of a fantastic monologue in Loki and some nice right hooks, there's really nothing for me to believe that this guy, because we're setting up the next heavy. And right now you have Thanos is the bar now. So I'm supposed to believe that this is a similar type of heavy. I'm not getting any of that. But I gotta hope that maybe a variant is better.
So to answer your question, if I was a non-comic book reading person, I'm just going off what I saw in the movie. Kang says that he has seen the end. And he knows how it ends if he alone does not stop it. Because his variants
But he can't even stop Ant-Man.
Can I finish? Let me finish. You asked me why would it seem like a threat. I'm trying to answer your question.
Yeah, Antonio, stop with the facts. Go ahead, Alex.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Alex.
He very clearly shows that his variants are fucking up different timelines across the multiverse, right? He says, I'm the only one that can stop what's coming.
So you don't think he's just being a bad guy and lying, right? That can't be it.
If I'm a normal viewer, right?
You don't think you're a normal you don't know what a normal viewer thinks of a bad guy in a movie, that bad guys lie? That's a comic book trope only? What the fuck are you talking about? But bad guys don't make things up. Nah.
But then you get to the end of the movie and you see that it's true.
Do you?
Yes, they have a whole conversation about around, but they're getting too close.
LA, that's what we're saying. The worst things about him are conversations people are having. I'm saying, why not actually show us that he's a guy that can beat up other Kangs?
But that's what they did with Thanos. They did the exact same thing with Thanos.
Thanos wins his first fight. He mops up several guys. He's getting out of there.
But they already ruined it because you saw Thanos. You saw fucking Kang already now. Now you've already got your first Kang hand-to-hand combat. And he lost to Ant-Man.
But again, you keep trying to say that this one Kang is going to be the same as all the other Kangs.
He's asking you the opinion of the basic fucking viewer.
You told me, LA. You told me.
The basic viewer isn't going, oh man, there's more Kangs. They could probably be more powerful because in comic lore that I'm not familiar with, that would make sense. They don't give a fuck about comics.
I didn't say comic lore.
I'm saying that's the only way they're gonna think that that's actually gonna matter.
How? When he says that there's a bunch of Kangs like him that are fucking up shit, and then at the end of the movie, you get the end credit scene. They're basically saying that they're about to fuck some shit up.
Right?
No, they basically said, the one that we banished because they didn't want to deal with him.
Right? Because it was people fucking up their plans.
No, that's what we're saying.
So the one that could fuck up their plans wasn't powerful enough to beat up Ant-Man with his suit on.
That's all we're saying is that it's not matching.
Come on, my nigga.
What people are saying about him and what we saw are not matching. The entire quantum realm was afraid of this guy. A bunch of guys banished him because he was apparently that reckless. He himself believed he was the person that could beat everybody, but he couldn't beat Ant-Man.
He said, what you gonna do if I get out? I'm gonna fucking win, nigga. And then what did they do? Well, we got Ant-Man, so
keep in mind that they were also the one that banished him in the first place.
My nigga, I said that like 4 times now. Why would they banish a nigga that's not a problem? If they're so much better than him, they don't need to banish him. They could just get him out of here themselves. They couldn't do that. They had to banish that nigga.
Right.
But he could be beat by Ant-Man. And that's okay to you. He doesn't have all He had enough within that suit to pick a nigga up by a finger. But not strong enough to beat Ant-Man. Oh, no.
By then, his suit was already destroyed, though.
Oh, yeah, I forgot because of the thousands of ants. Yeah.
Does his suit work?
Yeah.
Does his suit work when he fights Ant-Man?
So this guy can, hold on, this guy can destroy planets, galaxies, but he can't stop some ants.
Cam, I got you.
Think about that for a minute.
Does his suit work when he fights Ant-Man?
Cam, I got you. LA, we don't know anything about his suit.
When he fights Ant-Man?
They didn't tell us anything about his suit. We didn't get anything about his suit. They don't tell us anything. There's no exposition about it.
All we know is that he has a suit. But at the same time, you can destroy galaxies, but you can't stop yourself from being attacked by ants.
All I know is homegirl says, well, he got his suit on before I was able to stop him. So all I know is that possibly his suit does something. That's all I know. I'm not told anything about it.
We do know that he has tech far beyond anything that we've ever known or comprehended.
So
he created an entire civilization.
So you thought that was just him holding them up in the air?
LA, what I'm saying is that they were not clear about how his suit impacts his power.
My point is,
a thing said.
He's using that suit when he's destroying planets, but he can't stop these ants. He can kill Avengers, obviously entire teams of Avengers, with that suit on. But he can't beat these ants, dog. These ants are they're tenacious. They're like Draymond Green.
Like literally, while his suit was whole, we got large Ant-Man running towards the tower, and instead of him saying, "All right, fam,
I got this.
Let me go out and knock this dude out," he's like, "Quickly, let's get out of here." Like, why is he running?
I want you to imagine if Thanos saw 114-foot Ant-Man. What's Thanos doing? Let me know. Take your time.
Depends on what his motivations are. His motivations to get out of prison.
Antonio, tell us where people can find you. Cause this nigga full of shit. This nigga full of shit. It depends, you know what I'm saying? We know what he's gonna do.
He's on a time limit.
Okay.
He's on a time limit, so that means he's not wasting none. He's killing it.
Okay.
No, he's trying to get the ring set rotating so he can get the fuck out.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about if Thanos saw Ant-Man at 114 feet, he's killing him. No, regardless.
Or he's using the space stone to get the fuck up out of there.
Why would he do that?
Because he's trying to get the fuck out.
So you're saying that Ant-Man at 114 feet is stronger than Hulk? The Hulk? He's stronger.
That's not what I said. You said that.
But we saw Thanos two-piece the Hulk. Just he didn't need a gauntlet for that.
Once again, was not talking about fighting. We talk about Thanos wanting to get out of somewhere in a hurry.
No. I said, what do you think Thanos would do in any situation if a 114-foot Ant-Man is charging at him?
If he's trying to escape, he's going to try to escape.
Why? No. That's the point. Why is he trying to escape from Ant-Man?
He wasn't trying to escape from Ant-Man. He's trying to get out of the
Who's he trying to escape from?
He's trying to get out of the prison he's been locked away in.
Why not just say, oh, hold on, guys, I'm going to knock out Ant-Man real quick, then we can get out of here? Why is he in such a rush? Because Ant-Man's coming. That's why he's in a rush.
Right, because Ant-Man
makes sense.
Can stop the machine, yeah.
Ant-Man can stop the machine, but fully suited Kang can't stop Ant-Man. Thanks for telling us that. Yeah, I guess not. So that's just,
okay. Here we go. I'll do this
right there.
Okay, so I'll do this
because they've not done a good job of establishing their villain.
Okay, so yeah, I'll do this. So to the viewers watching, if you want my opinion, this movie is a whole lot better if you give us a reason to believe that Kang is worth being afraid of. And so far, the only thing to be afraid of are the myths and stories about him, because on screen, he hasn't really done anything significantly great yet. So apparently in the next movie or the movie after that or the movie after that or the movie after that or maybe in Loki 2 or I don't know, whenever they decide to tell us, they're going to show us that this is a guy that we should believe is going to be the guy that's going to wreck all the next set of plans. So hopefully that
because I remember in The Dark Knight when they set up that, the Joker was going to be dangerous in Dark Knight Rises. You know what I'm saying? You just had to wait for the next one.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I guess one of us
to see why he was dangerous. You know,
one of us will be wrong, or two of us will be right.
No, you're wrong. there's no.
I mean, there's a lot of time left between now and Kang Dynasty.
No, because we're just talking about this movie, and you're trying to talk about the future. That's why you're wrong. You can't even just focus on this movie because you know it's not good.
The one thing keeping this movie afloat was Johnathan Majors, and it could have actually really been good if they would have actually gave Johnathan Majors
in Black History Month.
If they would have actually let him flex, this probably could have been a really good, maybe even great movie.
I went into this movie expecting them to go, "Hey, yo, he's about to fuck this shit up."
Man,
and instead he was
we joked about the fact that somebody was gonna die. He gonna kill Scott. He gonna kill that Wasp. He gonna smash that. That Wasp is gone.
Yeah,
I knew somebody was dead. Ain't nobody die. Everybody survived.
Everybody
Paul
lived,
had a couple scratches. That was it.
Because it's not that Kang, bro. I don't know. It's not that Kang. It's different Kangs. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Ant-Man.
Antonio, what's your rating of this movie?
Oh, and MODOK, what the fuck, bro? I enjoyed the comedy, but that nigga, that CGI was super trash for him.
I don't know.
6.5.
I don't know if his CGI was done poorly on purpose for comedic effect or not.
Yeah, sure.
But,
hey, man. So Antonio, what'd you give it? He was funny, yeah.
6.5.
You see, now this is gonna surprise you, Antonio, because I didn't think he was gonna go that low. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I got to be the more positive of the two of us, which I did not expect, and give it a 6.
It's never too late to not be a dick.
Yeah. Tell that to these motherfuckers. By the way, do you guys know who's directing Kang Dynasty?
No.
The dude who did Shang-Chi. We are fucked. We are so fucked. Oh my God. This movie's going to be ass too. Go ahead, man. What'd you give it, LA? A 9?
Big body. What would you give the movie?
6, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool.
Damn.
Cool.
Gun to my head, I guess. Yeah. It would have been a better movie if Joe Johnston had directed it.
I'll give it a 7.
Sounds like a consensus to me. Yeah, we don't care though, bro. I don't know. We could have left that rating out. We knew you was going to try to give it a passing grade, even though you already admitted that none of the movie was good in its entirety. I didn't. You didn't? We got tape now, nigga. That's okay.
Give it a 7.
Well, the acting wasn't that great, and the CGI was bad. The story could have been better. Okay, could have. What a 7?
7.
Oh man, Antonio, where can people find you?
Rewatching Avatar: Way of Water.
I ain't doing it.
Wait for 3 hours.
A. Devon Johnson.
I ain't going that far, big dog. That's a commitment.
If I'm gonna watch a mid storyline, I've at least watch something that looks good.
But you gotta watch it in a theater, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, still not getting it
I'll
all.
at least watch it. I'm never watching this movie again. I'm never watching this again.
I'm never watching this again.
I'd rather watch RRR for a third time than watch Way of Water.
That's a movie I can get behind. That's a movie I can definitely get behind. Oh man, Kim, where can the good folks find you?
Forcing any white person I see to apologize for the Woman King at Cam Archer.
Oh man, you can find me on Instagram at l.a._gfc or on Twitter as la_gfc. More importantly, follow us on the pod, DTWT Pod, on both Instagram and on Twitter. That again is DTWT Pod. You'll catch this Entertainment Time episode on all of our streaming channels, including YouTube, where you can find us at youtube.com/@dtwtpod.com. Thanks everybody for tuning in. It's been a heated debate, heated argument.
We'll let you know where you guys can join us for the wake of LA's movie takes.
I hope people go back to revisit this when Kang Dynasty comes out, so we can see.
Yeah, 2 years from now, we'll really know how good this movie was.
Folks, you gotta wait 3 years to revisit this.
You gotta wait 3 years to know if this movie's good.
Let's see what happens.
The Cinephile Los Angeles. Okay,
we'll see what happens.
This movie's trash.
That is such a terrible.
That's such a wild attempt.
You're only gonna love this movie 5 years from now.
Just wait until you see how these other movies were, and then you're gonna go, "Oh, yeah, all right, nigga."
It's always
saying,
nice.
You know what? Now that I've seen Rocky 5, Rocky 2 is actually pretty good.
Fam, how did I not think of the Rocky franchise? So good. Oh, I can't believe it.
It's always nice to be good, but it's way more fun to do the wrong thing. We out.
Y'all want to help me put nails in LA's coffin?